I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. It is, of course, the 93 rated objective goalkeeper, Nick Pope. He has got a couple of other cards to speak of. Of course, his base card is only 79 rated, but he did get an inform. Can't remember when that was, but he did get one. And of course, he was given a really interesting SBC, an 87 rated FUT birthday card with 5-star skills. And at the time, I did it because of the 5-star skills. And I thought it would be fun to try and, I don't know, score a goal or, you know, just try and skill someone with a goalkeeper, because it's not that often, if ever, actually. I don't even think... I'd like to know, actually. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Has there ever been a 5-star skill goalkeeper before? I know Felipe Melo was like an outfield player that went in goal, and that was a long time ago, maybe FIFA 14. They should really, I mean, that was an inform. They really should do more of those kind of just jokey things. Not necessarily with players who are like, I don't know, 95 rated, or even the likes of, you know, when they made Mo Salah a left back, that was completely random. I'm not talking that necessarily, because that doesn't really make any sense. But like Kyle Walker, for example, this season went in goal for Man City because I think one of their goalkeepers was injured, the other one got sent off, or they were both injured. I can't remember the situation, but Kyle Walker went in goal. He might have even saved a penalty, I can't remember. But either way, he went in goal. And I honestly thought we were going to get another Felipe Melo situation where they were going to give Kyle Walker the inform for being in goal. And they didn't. They just completely ignored him completely. And yeah, completely. That makes sense. But either way, they didn't give him a special card. And I feel like with things like that, it kind of needs to be, it just needs to happen. It's just a bit of fun. It's not a goalkeeper you're ever going to really want to use. It's just a bit of fun. You put him in goal, and then you drop the ball to his feet, and you can actually go on a run. Like with Pope, there's only so much you can do. We don't know what his stats are. I mean, you can go find out, actually, if you go look at the in-game stats in the actual game itself. You can have a look, I think, at the finishing and stuff like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Can you? I'm not sure. I didn't even check. I don't know. But either way, we don't really know what the finishing and the dribbling and all the rest of it is on Pope. So it's very difficult to be able to tell how good he actually is on the outfield. His skill moves, I can tell you, are still not that desirable to use, even though it's a 93 rated card, 6 overall higher than the FUT birthday. I still didn't really have an awful lot of fun trying to pop some skill moves and beat some people. You'll see in the clips that I try it quite a lot. I say that. I don't know if I'm going to put them in because I do lose the ball quite often. And maybe if you can see me showing you a clip of him saving a shot and the game's 6-0, it's not because he's terrible. It's because I'm not very good at doing skills and I keep losing the ball. But the 87 rated card was decent, actually, in terms of a goalkeeper. He wasn't actually that bad. And a lot of people criticised him. He was worth about 70k when he came out, which, to be fair, was probably a little bit overpriced. I think it probably should have been about 30, maybe 40k. I did it anyway, like I said, just for the memes of the skills. But he was actually not that bad. I think I even reviewed him. He wasn't a terrible goalkeeper. But this card has been refined and upgraded. 6 in diving, 7 handling, 6 kicking, 8 reflexes, 6 speed and 6 positioning, which I think is a pretty decent upgrade considering he's gone up by 6 overall. It makes sense that they are just going to give him 6 or 7 overall difference on every single stat, which is very nice to see. So 93 diving, 95 handling, 91 kicking, 95 reflexes, 64 speed, which is huge in a way, and 94 positioning. And I say in a way, and the reason I say that is because he's 6'7". That is very tall. I think that's probably the second tallest player in the game, there or thereabouts. I think there's like a 6'8" player knocking about somewhere. But either way, very, very tall. And for a goalkeeper, you might think, well, that's really good. You want a tall goalkeeper. Makes sense, right? To a certain extent, yeah, I guess so. But not for low-driven shots. Not that you really come up against them that often. But for shots that are lower, you know, sort of beneath the waist, it's going to take an awful lot longer for a goalkeeper to get down to that height to make the save. And I think people just neglect that, you know. Like, I'm not a pro or anything, although did play goalkeeper for quite a while. The shots that are beneath your waist are a lot harder to reach if you're tall. Now, I'm not tall, so I didn't have that problem. I'm actually quite a short goalkeeper, but still, definitely worth mentioning that it does come across in FIFA as well. So, with that being said, is he actually any good? To be fair, yes he is. He's a pretty damn good goalkeeper. It's not like I'm saying this is going to replace your current Ter Stegen or your Oblak or anything like that. I mean, if you've got those, chances are you can't even fit Pope into your team. But if you do somehow have, I don't know, maybe the Footmas David De Gea. Is he better than Footmas David De Gea? I don't know, because I really like that card. There's obviously a 92 player moments David De Gea as well, so it's going to be down to personal preference, because with goalkeepers, and I don't review goalkeepers that often because, to be honest, there just isn't enough to say about them. They don't really have that much to talk about. But when it comes to goalkeepers, when I review them, if and when I do, I often get people in the comments saying, what are you talking about? You know, he wasn't as good as you're saying. Or what are you talking about? This happened a lot for me, or this happened a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. He can't save it with his feet. He never did for me. You know, you get the sort of comments coming back, and it's not people making it up. They're not lying. They are telling the truth. And it's because goalkeepers will act differently for everybody. It's a case of, I go into a game on one account with Pope, and I use him for 5-10 games, and he saves, I don't know, 70 to 80% of his shots, and I think, actually, you know what, he's not that bad. He's saved a couple of near post, which is really handy. He's got the skills, which came off for me now and again, and yeah, generally wasn't a bad card. And then I'll go on my other account, where I've got him unlocked, and I'll start playing with him, and he doesn't save anything. And everything's conceded, and his positioning is terrible. He's not very quick off his line. It doesn't make any sense. And it's just, I don't think it's like tied to an account necessarily, but it does come down to how well he'll play for you. With players outfield, like, say, Maximin or whatever, Dembele's SBC card, or even Ribéry's Summer Heat card, when I tell you he can do this well, he can do that well, if you're good enough at the game, or maybe you're even, like, you're on my level or whatever, if you're above me, you can do better things, right? But if you're on my level, or there or thereabouts, you will be able to pull these things off as well. And of course, it's the same with the basics. They can do ball rolls basic, they can do drag backs, how quick they are, how responsive they are. Generally, those things are sort of universal. They will work on everyone's account. Whether you like the player or not is irrelevant. You know, that's not what I'm saying. But you'll be able to do certain things, and there'll be a level of responsiveness with those players. With goalkeepers, it doesn't really work that way. So they are definitely going to be hit and miss. It almost comes down to a point where there's not an awful lot of information you can pick up from a player review from a goalkeeper. Player reviews are very subjective anyway. You know, like I said, sometimes you can go into a game with someone and think, well, I don't like him. He's not wrong in what he's saying. He is kind of responsive, and he can do this and he can do that, and his long shots are actually really good. I just don't like him. And I feel like that with a lot of people. I can't think of one off the top of my head that I don't actually like, that people always bang on about being fantastic. I think Sissoko, actually, the base Sissoko, that card, I never really found that effective. I don't know why. I just didn't. He's like a brick on the ball. His passing is questionable, and I'm not even talking about just now, like in general across time. I've never really used him and thought, wow, this is why people use him. But everyone else loves him, and I don't really get it, and that's what I'm talking about, you know? So when it comes to Pope, take it with a pinch of salt that for me, he was solid. He wasn't the best goalkeeper I've ever used. Is he as good as David De Gea's cards? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You know, he conceded a couple of things I thought maybe he should have had. He saved a couple of things I genuinely didn't expect him to. You know, those situations, and you would have seen it in the review, where your opponent is one-on-one and you're thinking, well, this is a goal, and he just either blunders it completely and he misses the target, or the goalkeeper pulls off a save and you're like, wow, I got off lightly there. How did the goalkeeper save that? He does have come for crosses, which incidentally I forgot to mention. Instruction wise, normally with goalkeepers you don't really do anything right, but I do comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. The speed on the card helps the sweeper keeper instruction an awful lot, because he bursts out of that 6-yard area and just sprints directly to the feet of the attacker, which can cause a few problems now and again when they ball roll you, either in and behind, and then it's game over. But generally, he's quick enough, he can get down, he can retrieve the ball. He's long enough as well that he can get the arm out to tip the ball from the keeper's feet, the attacker's feet. He also has the saves with feet trait, which De Gea has as well, which does come in handy an awful lot in certain situations. If they decide to go across goal and it's down on the floor, he's not going to be able to get down with his hand quick enough, so obviously uses his feet. So that's really handy to have as well. All round, I think he's a solid goalkeeper, considering the fact that it's free. Definitely a solid goalkeeper. I would say he competes with the 90 and the 92 David De Gea. I would probably still go for those cards, but definitely a solid option to have if you don't have an awful lot of option in terms of goalkeepers and you don't really have coins to go out and buy like a team of the season, team of the year Alisson or whatever other goalkeeper that you think is better. But there we go. I genuinely didn't expect this to be 10 minutes long, but there it is. I can talk for Wales. If you have enjoyed this video, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.